Hello, my child. What brings you out to these depths of the forest? It has been a while since I saw a human in this area. You must have been walking for a long time to get this far. Oh? Be not afraid, my child. I mean no harm. I will, however, protect both the forest and myself if I have to. But you do not seem like much of a threat. Let us keep it this way. These woods are sacred, after all. I would rather keep them pure if I can. You surely understand. Good. Very good. Are you cold, my child? You look as though you're shaking. I can imagine you have never seen a being quite like myself before. We prefer secluded areas, after all, and usually we would not take lightly to a human in our domain. If you had met another of my kind, chances are they would have either kept or killed you. I still have yet to decide, but I simply had to approach. You intrigue me, my child. I wish to know more about what brings you here, so far off from your usual habitat. Deep in the woods, where no light of the moon reaches the ground, where you barely spy a star through the thick crown of leaves. Can you even see what is ahead of you? Or do you simply find yourself enveloped by darkness, with only the reflectiveness of my eyes gleaming at you? I wonder. How have none of the creatures and sounds scared you away yet? What is it that you seek as you move on ahead? Tell me, my child. Tell me what it is you're hoping to find. Well, then, I will take your silence as a sign of fear rather than disrespect, or perhaps you do not know what you are searching for either. How very human of you to wander blindly, unsure of where your path may lead, of what you are seeking to find, simply yearning for something out of sight, out of reach. Perhaps my appearance has stunned you, leaving you unable to use your voice. I must simply assume you do not act so rudely on purpose, my child. After all, you are trespassing, a mere guest in my domain, a frail little human, with whom I can do as I please. Be careful not to outstay your welcome, my child. You surely would not want to upset me. Believe me, it is not a sight to enjoy. Wrath is quite easily sparked within beings such as myself, and it never ends well for the other party. You have surely heard stories of fearsome forest spirits, cunning fae, of cruel gods. All stories have an origin, a hint of truth within them, as fantastical as they may be. Mayhaps you have heard of humans disappearing, never to be seen again, or being found later in places they could not possibly have gotten to by themselves. Perhaps you have been told of strange occurrences deep within the forest, unexplainable sightings, sudden outbursts of energy or mysterious sounds. I believe you understand now, my child. A spirit, no. A god is nothing to be messed with, nothing to be taken lightly. Keep that in mind. After all, my kind has roamed these lands far before yours could even walk. Yet still, you humans love to act although all lands belong to you. Look at you. So small, so insignificant. If there was any light around, you would quite literally stand in my shadow. And yet you act as though you are almighty, as though you are the bright sun bringing life to all creatures, as though you get to decide what thrives and what burns beneath you. You humans are foolish, fighting over what you believe to be the truth, over what you call power. You are nothing compared to us. You are the lion believing it is king, whilst we are the forest giving you life. I must say, you impress me, my child. Most of your kind would have tried to defend themselves already, be that verbally or physically. What a curious one you are indeed. I can tell you cling to my every word, as though you actually are listening to me. How peculiar. I must say I am beginning to enjoy your silence. So far, most humans that crossed my path have been quite loud once they found their tongues again. Not just loud, my child, but quite rude too. I do not mind simple talk, pleasant conversation, but getting yelled at, getting insulted is not so much something I enjoy. I'm sure you understand. You seem smart beneath your quiet facade. I can see a wisdom in your eyes that most humans lack. You might make for some nice company, after all. Having to sit in silence for millennia, with only the forest speaking to you, can get quite ponderous. As meditative as it may be. Every now and again, it might be nice to have another to converse with on the physical plane. Whispers of the trees in ancient languages can get tiring if they are the only thing you hear. Most of my kind prefer solitude, but even then, one may miss the sound of another voice after a while. Humans are quite painful to be around, however, so imperceptive, insensitive, frankly, so ignorant. But your aura is one of greater wisdom and insight than most others I have seen throughout my eternal life. Be it even for the briefest of blinks. Compared to an immortal life, I do believe I will enjoy your company. I would ask you if you were willing to stay, but you do not have much of a say in this matter. Had I not approached, you may have aimlessly wandered these woods for days before you finally collapsed. And even now, your choices are to stay with me or be killed, for I do not want word of me outside of this forest. You are mine now, but I promise I will take good care of you. Come now, my child. I shall find you some shelter, in a comfortable place to rest. From what I remember, humans are mostly diurnal and prefer to sleep during nighttime. You look quite exhausted too. I can get you a nice meal to satisfy your hunger before I lay you to rest. The forest offers quite a lot of rich sources of nutrition. Surely, I will be able to prepare you an appetizing dinner. No need to be shy now, my child. Allow me to guide you. I can light you a fire later if you wish. Or I could simply warm you with my presence. Don't let this human form misguide you. I am a being of energy, after all.